So here is a book. Uh, Here is a book we should talk about. Men Without Women by Haruki Murakami. This collection of 7 stories explores the profound isolation, longing, and metaphysical hollowing out that occurs when men lose the women who defined their worlds. The core motif, the void. In Murakami's universe, women often serve as the bridge between a man and reality. When that bridge is removed through death, infidelity, or simple disappearance, the man is left in a state of suspended animation. The title is not just a literal description, it's a physiological diagnosis. Being a man without women is presented as a permanent condition. As the narrator says in the final title story, it's very easy to become men without women. You love a woman deeply and then she goes somewhere else. That's all it takes. Infidelity as mystery. In stories like Drive My Car and Yesterday, the men are not just hurt by betrayal, they are baffled by it. They seek to understand the secret room inside their partners that they could never access. The routine of loneliness. Many characters settle into a comfortable yet soul crushing routine, like making cocktails, driving, listening to jazz, mask the silence. The surreal shift. True to Murakami's style, reality occasionally thins out, most notably in Samsa in Love. Sorry, most notably in Shamsha in Love, where the metamorphosis is reversed. Deep dive into key stories. Drive My Car. This story sets the tone for the collection. Kafuku, an actor, hires a young woman, Misaki, to drive his Saab 900. Kafuku is obsessed with why his late wife cheated on him with medical men. Through his conversations with Misaki, he realizes that his wife's affairs were not a reflection of his inadequacy, but a part of her own blind spot, a depth of personality that no one else could ever truly inhabit. Scheherazade, sorry, Scheherazade. The story is Scheherazade, Scheherazade, whatever. A man named Habara is shut in for unspecified reason and visited by a woman who provides him with supplies and sex. Afterward, she tells him mesmerizing stories. The stories, specifically about her breaking into a crush's house in high school, become his only lifetime to the outside world. The horror here is not the confinement, it's the realization that one day she will stop coming and the stories will end. Then we can talk about the story Kino, perhaps the most classic Murakami story in the branch. After catching his wife with a colic, Kino opens a small bar. He tries to remain stoic and emotionless, but the world begins to fracture. Snakes appear, portents of doom surrounded him. Kino realizes that by refusing to feel the pain of his heart being broken, he has left himself wide open to a different kind of darkness. The stylistic analysis of his stories are mesmerizing. Murakami's prose remains characteristically lean and rhythmic. In this collection, he leans heavily into music as punctuation. From the Beatles to classical concertos, music acts as the emotional shorthand for the character's internal states. The in between spaces, bars, cars, and elevators. These are the settings where the most profound realizations happen. The gender gap. Critics often point out that the women in these stories are seen entirely through the male gaze. Their enigmas to be solved rather than fully realized protagonists, which is a deliberate choice to highlight the men's isolation. The critical verdict here is Men Without Women is a masterclass in melancholy. It doesn't offer healing in the traditional sense. Instead, it offers companionship in the form of shared loneliness. It suggests that once you lose someone, you don't just lose a person, you lose the version of yourself that existed in their eyes. Here are some central symbols: drive my car, the yellow sap. Yesterday, the Kanasai dialect, an independent organ, weight loss or anorexia. Shamsha in love, the hunchback. Okay, so the yellow sap in drive my car is the symbol of acceptance of the unknown. And the Kanasai dialect in yesterday is the symbol of nostalgia for what never was. The weight loss or anorexia thing in an independent organ story is the lethal nature of love, and the hunchback is the symbol in Shamshai love as the awkwardness of existence. Okay, so all these stories were written by Haruki Murakami. I really enjoyed that book very much. This is a surrealistic, deep, emotional, and existence related book. Here, the loneliness is being described according to a man's situation without a woman. A women. Sorry, my pronunciation is horrible. Whatever. I hope you really enjoy that book, and you can read that book if you are a deep reader, and if you love philosophical surrealistic writing, you can read that book, Men Without Women by Haruki Murakami.